The call came in at 3:07 a.m. It was from a payphone, slick with rain. A woman's voice, shredded by static and panic, just gave an address on the outskirts of the city and said, "He's dead." Then the line went silent. By the time the first patrol car arrived, the old Victorian house on Hemlock Drive was a tomb. And in the master bedroom they found him, Senator Michael Croft, a man who lived his life in the public eye, dead in the dark. A single elegant letter opener was buried in his chest. His wife, Elena, was in the garden, kneeling in the mud, her white nightgown stained with his blood. Her hands were caked in it. She wasn't crying. She was just waiting. The story practically wrote itself. Senator's young wife arrested in brutal slaying. The headlines were merciless. The photographs were worse. There she was, Elena, impossibly beautiful even in a perp walk, her face a blank slate. The narrative was a perfect poisonous apple. The beautiful, troubled second wife and the powerful older husband. A classic tale of passion and violence, and the public devoured it. I was assigned to the case. Detective Ben Crow. 20 years on the force had sanded me down, but this one felt different. The crime scene was too clean, the motive too obvious. Elena Croft, when she finally spoke, offered only 6 words. I was trying to save him. Then she retreated into a silence so profound it felt like a fortress. Her public defender argued self-defense, pointing to the senator's known temper. But the DA painted a picture of a gold digger tired of waiting for her inheritance. The murder weapon, he reminded everyone, was a gift from Elena to the senator. The irony was as heavy as a headstone. The trial was a media circus. They paraded experts who dissected her psyche, her past, her art. They found journal entries that spoke of loneliness, of feeling like a bird in a gilded cage. But in that courtroom I saw a woman who wasn't fighting for her life, but enduring it. Her silence wasn't defiance, it was exhaustion. It was the silence of someone who knew a truth so much bigger than the one being discussed that our little legal theater was almost laughable. Then a crack appeared. A security tape from a gas station a mile away showed the senator's car at 2:45 a.m., just minutes before the estimated time of death. He wasn't home asleep. He was out, and he wasn't alone. The footage was grainy, but you could make out a figure in the passenger seat. A man. The DA dismissed it. The senator was a public figure. He had late meetings. But it nagged at me. Why lie about him being home all night? I started digging where I wasn't supposed to. The senator's life was a fortress of privacy, but even fortresses have weak points. I found them in his finances, a series of large irregular payments to a shell company called Acheron Holdings. When I traced it, the trail led to a private security firm with murky ties to foreign governments. The senator, the champion of the common man, was on someone else's payroll. The night I uncovered the payments, my apartment was broken into. Nothing was taken, but my files were rifled through. My computer was left on with a single word typed on the screen: stop. It wasn't a request, it was a warning. I went to my lieutenant, but he told me to drop it. The case was closed. Elena Croft was a convenient ending to a messy story, but I couldn't let it go. I went to see Elena one last time before the jury deliberated. In the stark visitation room, she looked at me, and for the first time, her eyes were fully present. "They'll never believe you," she said, her voice calm. "He was scared, Ben. He'd gotten in too deep. That night, he came home and told me we had to run. He said they were coming. I thought he was paranoid. I picked up the letter opener. I was just trying to snap him out of it, to make him see reason. And then the window broke. I froze. The window." He was already at the door when it happened. The shot came from outside. It was so quiet. Michael fell. The letter opener was on the desk. I picked it up without thinking. I went to him, and then I saw the man in the window. He looked at me, nodded, and was gone. She looked down at her hands. If I told them that, who would I be? The hysterical wife seeing assassins in the shadows? My silence was the only shield I had left. It was a truth so catastrophic, it dwarfed the crime she was accused of. A U.S. senator, assassinated in his own home by a professional, and the fall guy was his wife. Her fingerprints on a conveniently placed weapon. The jury found her guilty. The gavel fell. As they led her away, she didn't look at me. I was just another part of the machine that had consumed her. I resigned from the force the next week. I had no proof, only the certainty in a convicted murderer's eyes. I became a ghost, following the money. I found the security firm's operative, a man named Cale, living under a new name in Costa Rica. I confronted him on a deserted beach. He didn't deny it. He just smiled and said, "You can't fight the ocean, detective. You can only drown." He walked away and I let him. He was just a tool. I needed the hand that wielded him. It took me 2 years. 2 years of digging through offshore accounts and shadowy corporate records. I found the source of the payments, a conglomerate that would have lost billions if the Senator AS vote had gone the other way. I compiled everything, the financial records, my notes, my recording of Cale, and sent it to the only journalist I trusted. The story didn't break with a bang. It seeped out, a slow, toxic leak. There were inquiries, resignations, but no one ever went to jail for Michael Croft's murder. The system is good at absorbing scandals, not at delivering justice. But it was enough. Enough for an appeal. Enough for a pardon. The day Elena was released, it was raining, just like the night it all began. There were no cameras this time. The world had moved on. She walked out of the prison gates and looked up at the gray sky, letting the rain wash over her face. I was leaning against my car, older, tireder. She walked over. "You," she said, a faint, weary smile on her lips. "Me," I replied. "Why?" she asked, the question containing a universe of pain and gratitude. "Because you stopped being a case a long time ago," I said. She nodded, understanding. She didn't say thank you. She didn't have to. She just slung her bag into the back seat and got in the car. We drove away from the prison, from the city, from the ghosts of the past. She rolled down the window, closed her eyes, and breathed in the free, rain-soaked air. Her long silence was finally over. The truth, however messy and incomplete, was out. And for her, that was enough.